And breaking news right now on 7 News, Nats Park evacuated after shots were fired near the stadium. We are working right now to bring you the latest.
WJLA 24/7 News, on your side at 10, starts now. We begin with a breaking news alert.
Last half hour that shots were fired somewhere in the area of Nationals Park. The stadium had to be evacuated and the game called. Now take a look. The Nats tweeting just a few minutes ago that the shooting happened outside of the third base gate, and the organization is working right now with law enforcement. We've been seeing tweets throughout the night, videos in from fans in this scary moment at Nats Park. 7 News Sports' Olivia Garvey was watching that game when that announcement happened. And Olivia, what can you tell us about all of this?
Okay, like Carl just said, just breaking moments ago, a scary incident happening right outside Nationals Park, right by the third base gate. According to reports, a shooting took place, like I said, just out past the third base gate. Now, it happened in the middle of the 6th inning. You can see once the MASN broadcast came back from commercial, right there, people are trying to get out. They're trying to run towards the concourse. They were told to stay put, and then moments later, fans were encouraged to exit the ballpark through the center field or right field gates. Now, according to MASN, the game has been postponed. Of course, the safety of everyone is the #1 concern. If you are there, please listen and follow to instructions of law enforcement. Carl.
Olivia, thank you very much. We're going to, of course, stay on top of this and bring you any breaking developments as we find out. We're looking deeply into this scary moment out at Nats Park. And just a few hours ago, we heard the mayor addressing the recent rise in gun violence in the city, even saying that somebody could be killed tonight. Now, this as she reacted to the shooting death of a 6-year-old girl in Southeast Washington. Nia Courtney was gunned down just after 11 o'clock Friday night. The shooter also hurt 5 others. They're all expected to be okay. Well, tonight, police need your help tracking down whoever is responsible for this crime. 7 News reporter Justin Hinton has the latest.
Shots rang out along MLK and Malcolm X in Southeast Washington just after 11 Friday night. Those shots sent people running for their lives. Bullets appear to barely miss this man in the crosswalk. But right before the video from police cuts off, it looks like he starts to fall. They say 5 people were struck, and 6-year-old Nia Courtney was killed.
I am asking that we all stand together and say no more. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Minutes before, Ephraim Kasai, who owns Mellon Market and showed 7 News on Your Side his surveillance video, says this was her riding a scooter. He saw the video the next day.
I didn't have any word at that moment. It was for me to be, shutting the store down and go home, because I didn't have, my head wasn't working.
He had a number of interactions with the little girl who was set to start first grade in the fall. She even had a special name for him.
I guess I got the curly hair, and then that's how she picked up and, called me Curly Hair. So it's like, hey, Mr. Curly. She actually added Mr. to it, too. Yeah, so, and I loved her. I mean, she's going to be really missed.
The attention now turning to the culprit. Who pulled the trigger? Police say they were in a gray or silver 4-door sedan, and they did it with officers stationed just down the street.
That should tell you the brazenness of the individuals that we're involved with here.
The ATF and FBI are both providing resources to solve the case. That also includes $25,000 from the ATF to reach that $60,000 reward. Though community members wonder if more jobs, rec centers, or other programs would prevent some of the violence D.C. has seen.
I'm not convinced that person who went through that intersection popping off indiscriminately was going to be at a rec center. I'm just not convinced of that. Okay, that's a killer. That's a killer. I'm going to do all recs, I'm going to do program, I'm going to do all of that. But I'm not convinced that person would have been in a rec center.
A fired up mayor and police chief calling for the violence to stop. In the district, Justin Hinton, 7 News.
And the shooting of Nia Courtney last night came 3 years to the day that 10-year-old Micaiah Wilson was shot and killed in Northeast D.C. Police believe that she was the innocent victim of a gang war. About a dozen people have been indicted in connection to her death. And we want to share that surveillance video with you one more time. Again, D.C. police are looking for the silver sedan that you see right there. And they want you to share this video as much as possible so as many people as possible are able to see it. I posted that on WJLA.com to make it easier for you to share. And we want to go back to that shooting that happened outside of Nats Park. D.C. police just tweeting this out. MPD is responding to a shooting in the 1500 block of South Capitol Street Southwest, in which 2 people were shot outside of Nationals Park. Now, this is currently an active investigation, and it appears there is no ongoing threat at this time. Still, the game that was in the 6th inning between the Padres and the Nats has been postponed, and it was happening again in the 6th inning. Fans encouraged to stay in place at one point and then encouraged to exit calmly just a short while ago. And new tonight, 7 News receiving new information in a bizarre officer-involved shooting in Gaithersburg. Montgomery County police say officers responded to the McDonald's on Flower Hill Way because the man was parked in the drive-through lane. Now, police called for backup when they noticed a gun in the front seat of his SUV. After police spoke with the man for half an hour, officers fired their weapons, killing that 21-year-old man. Well, tonight, it's not clear why the officers fired their shots, but police are also not naming that man involved tonight. We're expecting to learn more details at a news conference that is planned for Monday. And Stormwatch 7 has been following storms throughout the night. And take a look at this. These are new images from Baltimore County Fire Department. Thunderstorms were so powerful that they knocked a tree down onto 2 apartment buildings. We are told right now several families are looking for another place to live tonight. The Red Cross is helping them out. And here's a live look outside. We also heard reports of trees down in Montgomery County, but right now things are calming down. Stormwatch 7 meteorologist Brian Vandegraff is timing out the end of the storms and finally some cooler temperatures coming for Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to feel a lot better come this time tomorrow, Carl, that is for sure. We've had quite a few strong storms. There was some wind damage out through the west, through portions of western Virginia, western Maryland, West Virginia, and off to the north as well, up towards Baltimore. Right around the city proper, a lot of the showers have been splitting around us. There's some light showers now coming in on the west side of the Beltway. And if you look down towards southern Maryland, there are a few heftier showers and storms right there coming across portions of southern Maryland and heading out to the eastern shore. But the National Weather Service continues to kind of scale back that watch. The whole area was under a watch till 11 o'clock. Now it's just Anne Arundel, Calvert, and St. Mary's. As the last of these showers push through, those watches will drop. In fact, the other watches that were up, including the flash flooding, has now dropped as well. Currently, across the tidal basins, we look at numbers: 80 in the city, 76 Chantilly, 70 in Gaithersburg to Martinsburg, 80 right now down in Spotsylvania. Your forecast over the next couple of hours does call for temperatures to drop back from the 80s into the 70s. It's still a little bit muggy out there later tonight, but tomorrow is going to be a refreshing day. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s. All in all, a very pleasant day, a partly sunny afternoon. And right now, for storm chances tomorrow, I think they'd be well south of town, so the metro area, dry and less humid. More on the upcoming 7-day forecast in just a bit, Carl.
Brian, thank you very much. We have new developments tonight, an ongoing controversy in Virginia public schools. The state PTA says its vice president of training has resigned. Michelle Leet was recently filmed at a rally in Fairfax County where she was seen saying, quote, "let them die," in an apparent reference to opponents of critical race theory. She later clarified her comments, telling the Washington Post that she meant to wish death on those parents' ideals, not on any person. Also new tonight, new video of one of several rallies 7 News followed in our area calling for voting rights. This one happening at Black Lives Matter Plaza in D.C. The rallies marked 1 year since the passing of Congressman John Lewis. Demonstrators called on Congress to pass a voting rights bill named in his honor. Now, all of this happening as 7 News follows a major facelift coming to Black Lives Matter Plaza with construction to make it a permanent installation starting on Monday. That's a move that we first told you about Friday. This will mean road closures until October. But then the plaza that had been only for pedestrians for a year will open 2 lanes of traffic. And tonight I spoke with an ANC commissioner who is concerned that the coming design is not in the spirit of why the plaza was created.
The space is important. It's become a destination for tourists and travelers, and offers deep meaning around a movement that a lot of people are still very passionate about. Time will tell if that gets painted over and opened up to cars or not. But hopefully the substantive issues will eventually be addressed.
Well, DDOT will shut down both lanes of 16th Street to cars between H and K Street just north of the White House. Sidewalks will stay open throughout the work. And today, a Prince William County veteran receiving a big honor for his service. Carol Braxton getting inducted into the Montford Point Marine Hall of Fame. Montford Point is a nonprofit focused on memorializing the legacy of the first African Americans to serve in the Marine Corps. Last year, Prince William County renamed Stonewall Jackson High School to honor Braxton, a Master Gunnery Sergeant and Congressional Gold Medal recipient instead. And we are live at Nats Park after a shooting right outside of the stadium. Stay with us for continued updates. And the Delta coronavirus variant causing new concern tonight. The urgent warning from doctors as the contagious strain infects even more Americans. And she spent decades treating D.C. police officers as her own children. Now the department is remembering its unofficial mom. Well, tonight, a new warning from doctors to take the coronavirus seriously. Health officials across the country are worried as vaccination rates plunge while the Delta variant quickly spreads. The U.S. daily case average has jumped nearly 70% in the last week. Now, the spread is prompting at least 10 counties in California, including Los Angeles, to reinstate their mask mandates. And two newly acquired and fully restored cannons sounding off. The National Park Service marking 160 years since the first Battle of Manassas. Those cannons are known as boat howitzers. The U.S. Navy loaned guns like those to the 71st New York State Militia, who put them to use on Matthews Hill during the battle.
The 71st New York State Militia, they went on those raids, and they were accompanied by naval forces, naval boat launches, and with guns like these. And they performed very well.
Well, First Manassas, also called the First Battle of Bull Run, was the first major battle of the Civil War. That happened July 21st, 1861. Well, the National Park Service has more commemorative events scheduled tomorrow and on the actual anniversary of Wednesday. All right, so we are turning to weather right now. It's a pretty busy day out there, hot, and you're saying that's going to finally come to an end.
We're going to get a little bit of a break.
Yes.
Instead of 90s, feeling like 105 or greater, we'll have temperatures in the 80s, and it'll feel a little more comfortable.
Feeling like the 90s or like the 80s?
It won't be too, no. The mugginess is down. So our heat advisories are dropped, the flash flood watches dropped, the severe thunderstorm watches dropped, so we're pretty much watching it all drop. Now, if you look across the area, there's a little bit of light rain coming through. That cold front is coming through our area. Now, don't be looking for colder air, but we're looking for some more comfortable air. And you can see this thin little line of showers coming from across the western side of town. On the east side, there's still some heftier little cells now working their way across extreme southern Maryland out onto the eastern shore of Delmarva. In fact, if you look down here, you can see extreme southern Maryland and then across Cambridge on the other side of the Bay Bridge. And if you're traveling east on 50, you could encounter that. Let's talk about what's happening outside as far as the highs today. 94, the official high downtown today. 90s are average high. 93 Upper Marlboro, 94 Gaithersburg, 95 Warrenton, 94 Culpeper, 90 in Winchester. You get the idea. We're basically all in the 90s out there. It was pretty intense. Right now across the tidal basin, things are calming down. Temperatures in the 70s, 80 downtown. A little bit of a feels like with a little bit of that mugginess, but the winds are going to start to shift, and as that happens, those temperatures will start to drop back a bit. Not extreme, but they will start to come back. Tomorrow morning, some scattered clouds, and through the afternoon, mainly dry, just a partly cloudy sky. I do think if there are any showers or storms to form tomorrow, they'll be well south of town as that frontal system continues to sink southward. We'll be on the cooler side of things with a west-northwesterly wind, and temperatures in the mid-80s, feeling downright comfortable around here for a change. 5-day trend. Average this time of year is 90, so keeping that in mind, we're well below average tomorrow. Monday, upper 80s, so still below average on your Monday. A little bit hotter, but nothing too extreme. Tuesday and Wednesday, right around that 90-degree mark. Nothing too high, a little bit more mugginess, yes, but not oppressive, not a heat wave. Just looks like maybe 2 days or so of 90-degree weather. And then we'll see those temperatures maybe come back a couple degrees here or there later in the week. It's fairly average week, but not extreme. As I mentioned, the heat and humidity remaining somewhat in check. And as far as any cooling showers or storms, other than that threat that we have a little bit later tonight, pretty calm for the next couple of days. Tomorrow, south of town, Monday dry, Tuesday looking dry. Wednesday, just a chance for an isolated shower or storm with our next little frontal system coming through. We'll fine-tune that forecast a little bit further down the road. And then upper 80s to near 90 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all looking pretty calm around here and not too extreme as far as those temperatures are concerned. Let's look at the forecast. Back over to you.
Brian, thank you very much. Well, she's been called the unofficial mom of D.C. police. And tonight, the department is remembering Shirley Gibson. Mrs. Gibson was well known for cooking Christmas dinners for D.C. police officers after her son Brian, who was also an MPD officer, was killed in the line of duty in the late 90s. You're looking at video from her 20th and final dinner that happened in 2016. And in a new statement tonight, D.C. police say she was a mother to the entire department, welcoming officers into her home every year. They say she will be deeply missed. And we are turning to sports right now. Just a busy night. 2 people shot outside of Nats Park.
It was very scary. I hope everyone that is watching that was there is okay and that they are listening to law enforcement right now. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it right now. But first, the NBA Finals on 7 News as we speak. Game 5 between the Suns and Bucks. We're going to have highlights later. But all concerns were with what happened at Nats Park tonight. An update when sports returns after the break.
And now, the Toyota Sports Desk, sponsored by your Toyota dealers.
All right, we are going to recap our breaking story this hour. A scary incident happening outside Nats Park tonight. According to reports, a shooting took place outside of the third base gate at Nationals Park, and it's still going on. We've learned minutes ago about another shooting on South Capitol Street Southwest. It happened in the middle of the 6th inning. You can see once the MASN broadcast came back from commercial, people running towards the concourse. They were told to stay put, and then moments later, fans were encouraged to exit the ballpark through the center field or right field gate. Nats just sending an update. The game will resume tomorrow at 1:05. Of course, it has been suspended tonight. As far as the game is concerned, the Nats were down 5-1 in the third, and Ryan Zimmerman, Mr. National, mirrored in a slump. Well, no more. He was 0 for 15, and then that right there, the 3-run shot. It was 5-4, but the Padres kept squaring up in that Nats pitching. Fernando Tatis Jr., laces one off the bottom of the left field wall, scoring 1 run. Nats led 8-4 with the game suspended, of course, in the 6th inning. And some big news coming from the Washington Wizards tonight. The wait is over. The Wizards have officially hired Wes Unseld Jr. as their new head coach. We know Wes pretty well around here. He is the son of the great Wes Unseld, who played for the Washington Bullets. He is a legend, and I think his son will be too. Unseld Jr. comes to Washington after spending 6 seasons with the Denver Nuggets. He knows the game of basketball, and he's done it all in this league, from being a scout to now a head coach here in Washington. And I caught up with Wizards color analyst Glenn Consor about the hire and what he thinks Unseld Jr. will bring to this franchise.
What's impressed me most about him is just he's a straight shooter. You know, there's no pretentiousness about him. He's intelligent, he's smart, he's bright, he knows the game of basketball. He's got tremendous basketball acumen. And so you hear all of those adjectives, you know, high IQ, all of those things. He's a smart guy. And I've always enjoyed interacting with him and seeing, you know, the way he's progressed. It's anybody's guess whether he'll have success. I'm glad he's getting a shot at that because I think he can do really well.
Well, that was Steve Buckhands, but I also talked to Glenn Consor, and we can hear that at 11 p.m. on 7 News. All right, on 7 News, we have been airing the NBA Finals between the Bucks and the Suns. It has been a finals the NBA and all of us dream of. It's been a battle, and we're hoping Game 5 tonight that's going on is a repeat of that amazing Game 4. But let's get into the history of these two teams in the finals. Now, the Bucks' only title was in 1971. Bob Dandridge was on that Milwaukee team alongside Lou Alcindor and Oscar Robertson. Bobby D was also on the Bullets championship squad in 1978 with, of course, Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes. Dandridge sees some ties between the Bullets series against the Sonics and this finals between the Bucks and the Suns.
Of course, I would like to see the Bucks win it, but then again, you know, you'd like to see Chris Paul also go out on top because he's been an all-pro, all-star, all-everything for 15 years in the league, and you don't want him to have to walk away from the league with the Charles Barkley syndrome. So, you know, I'm comfortable enough in my own skin that may the best team win.
Such a sweet man, and what a legend. A score update here, though. Like I said, we have the NBA Finals over on our sister station, 7 News, as we speak. The Suns and the Bucks. What is it again?
The Bucks are up 3.
64-61 in Phoenix. We'll be right back.
And we want to update you one more time on our breaking news tonight. Within the last hour, a series of shootings on South Capitol Street, one of those near Nationals Park, postponing the game to tomorrow afternoon. That shooting happening outside the third base gate. And D.C. police tweeted about another shooting at the intersection of N Street and South Capitol Street Southwest. At this point, we know at least 2 people were shot. We have a photojournalist there on the scene. That's a live picture. You can see the heavy police presence in that area right now. We're going to continue to update you on 7 News after the game and, of course, at WJLA.com and through our social media sites. All right, Brian, we have one last look.
All right, and I will tell you, the last of the severe thunderstorm watches has been dropped, so all watches have now ceased. There could be a few lingering light showers out there, but the calmer atmosphere is prevailing. Tomorrow, 86 degrees, mid-80s, lots of sunshine with some scattered clouds. Isolated storms south of the city. I think most of us stay dry. Less humidity. Feels nice. Monday looking solid. Tuesday looking good. Maybe a few storms on Wednesday. Yeah, we get close back to 90, but no low to mid upper 90s. No heat index values in the triple digits. All in all, just typical fare that's a little more tolerable, I'd say. All in all, but tomorrow looks nice. Get out and enjoy.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Be safe out there and be sure to join us on 7 News after the game.